I'm going to ask you to focus on leading your employees through COVID and beyond by looking at your behavioral skills and competencies. So you really can't implement your new business plan without the appropriate behavioral skills at both the leadership level and at your employee level. But the first thing we want to do is start at the top. And so there's the tone at the top, right? The leaders, as leaders, it's your job to set the tone, the direction, and the culture for your organization. And it has a trickle down effect. So what you want to do is look at yourself, your current situation, in terms of where are you at now? What are the behaviors? Do you have the leadership skills and behaviors that you need to influence your employees to implement this new business model and this new business strategy? So before you can start guiding your employees through the crisis and through these new business plans, you need to look at your leadership skills. And I recommend 4 steps to do that. There's reflect, reset, refocus, and renew. And so let's go through them really, very quickly. Reflect is really, when I think of reflect, I think of that song by Michael Jackson, Man in the Mirror, where you're looking at yourself, right? Do you have the leadership skills to get you to your desired end state? Are you positioned to manage effectively through COVID? What are your strengths? Have you evaluated what your strengths are and how you're going to use those strengths to guide your team, to help you to guide your team through COVID? Understanding your biases. Do you have any biases that are holding you back from operating in your strengths? So a couple of weeks ago, we talked about biases. So for instance, affinity is where you're giving projects or work to folks that you are familiar with or that you favor. And so are those biases holding you back? If so, take a step and understand your biases and really try to address them. Do you know your triggers? So knowing your triggers and what sets you off is really important because, again, we're talking about leading through example, the tone at the top. So I know for me, I'm a big picture person, and if someone gives me an idea, I really kind of can catch it really quickly. If you give me the big picture, I know how to fill in. If I'm speaking to someone that gives me minutia and detail and drags on, that drives me nuts. And I go, oh my God, get to the point, So I have to be aware of my triggers, and I have to be aware as a leader when I'm dealing with people, what are those things that get me off course from being a more effective leader? Are you an introvert versus an extrovert? Do you get your energy from being around other people? Or do you get your energy from just being by yourself? And are you taking the time that you need to refueling and reflect and get your energy? The next step is to reset or restart, right? So if you think about a reset button on the computer or on the TV, when COVID hit us, we all as leaders had to take a step back and we had to reset. We had to learn how to look at new norms. We had to reset our attitudes and our perspectives about remote working, kids being home, and how to manage employees. So at this stage, come up with a behavioral action plan to help you manage your actions, right? Seek out other perspectives from individuals that you really trust that will give you honest opinions. So we've talked about reflect, we've talked about reset. Let's refocus. So when you think about a camera and you're looking in the lens and you're kind of refocusing, let's refocus, look at refocus by focusing your behaviors and refocusing your behaviors in order to implement this new strategy. Is there an opportunity for you to do things a little bit differently? Maybe communicate a little bit better, do some more delegating, reevaluate how you measure performance. Are you focusing more on technical skills and not really looking at the behavioral skills? Do you need to reevaluate how you communicate and your leadership communication style? And so just refocusing how you are going to have your leadership behaviors in order to implement this new plan. And the last is renewal. Renewal is really resuming an activity after an interruption. So COVID was this great interruption that kind of all caught us in our, tracks, made us just stand still in our tracks. But now I'm saying renew, get busy, don't get stuck, get on with the business of getting on with the business and create your new normal. So those are the 4 steps to help you to move from your current state to your future state.